Not sure it got any easier to digest, but can you take some positives out of this, knowing even last year how your team maybe didn't get off to the best of starts in the series? This team over the last 4 years has a .357 winning percentage, games 1 through 3, and are at .740 games 4 through 7. I'm not sure why that's the case, but is there something to be said about the starts and also the knowledge that you can recover?
Yeah, absolutely. Last year against LA, we were able to win the first game, but often in the past, as you mentioned, it hasn't been the case. We knew that it was going to be a difficult task. LA's playing really well, especially at home, but it was nice to see that we were able to break through and score some goals late in the game, something that we haven't done very much of. But, I think there's some areas that we thought we could be better. Staying in the penalty box, we won. They scored 2 power play goals. There's the difference of the game. But there's other things that we need to get better at to give ourselves an opportunity.
You had a couple players on extended LTIR to close the year. How close are Evander Kane and John Klingberg to playing, and are they potential options for you to be able to?
Yeah, going in the week before, we expected almost everybody being available for the first round, and if not for game 1. Vander's very close, has not been cleared by the doctors yet, but like I said, we're going to see him at some point during this series, and or I assume we are, but to say that he's going to play in game 2 right now is a little premature, so we'll just wait and see when he's coming in.
Klingberg?
Klingberg is very close also, and that's another option that we have to add a guy like that. Last night we're chasing the game. Obviously, it would have been nice to have to add a little more offensive flair, but I think we're looking at what's best for our group, and but Klingberg is a very good possibility.
Connor just talked about the challenge that was the neutral zone last night, figuring out how to make it through the neutral zone. How confident are you that tomorrow you guys can really figure that out?
Well, any team, if they've got pieces in place, it's going to be difficult to get through the neutral zone. There's 5 guys through the neutral zone from the red line to the top of the circles, a small area. So to be able to pick through that, and Connor and Leon did it several times last night, but other than those two, it makes it a little more difficult, and I think it's important to be able to have a plan on how you're going to recover pucks, because it's very, very difficult to skate through it with control. So we just have to review what we need to do to recover more pucks.
Stuart just talked about the importance of being able to reset, being ready for game 2. How do you lead your team to? I'm not sure if it is necessarily a reset that you need, or
Yeah, no, it's always a reset. Whether it's after a win or after a loss, you always have to reset, because after a win you can be too high, and obviously the loss, especially after last night, the way it happened, we were so close, and then to lose late in the game the way it was, we need to turn it aside. So it doesn't matter if we lose 5-0 or lose by 1. It's a loss, and we have to. The focus is winning the next game. So this team has had a lot of adversity. They played a lot of playoff games. They know how to handle it and how to look forward to the next game. So I'm not worried about our group.
Can we elongate that answer to say that Skinner's your starter for game 2, or is that decision yet to be made?
That decision's yet to be made. We'll evaluate that and make that decision tomorrow morning.
Can you discuss goaltending? Connor talked about it, and Stuart as well. It's always unbelievably important. But in a series, can you describe maybe how the role of a goaltender seems to be elevated even to a considerable level that seems above everybody else?
Well, goaltender's always important, and I had a former general manager and friend who used to say goaltending is 70%, and if you don't have it, it's 100%. And during the playoffs, it's just even more important because the games are so much closer, and you've got 2 teams that are matched very closely. It's not like it's a first place team playing a last place team, and it's tight checking, and there's going to be a few breakdowns, and the difference is usually a save. but goaltending is a very important position, and you usually have success when it's going well for you. But we know Stews can turn it on and play really well, and same with Calvin. We saw that last year in the playoffs and throughout the regular season. So we've got confidence in both those guys.
Kris, apologies if you answered this, but how does this year's Kings team differ from last year in terms of the challenges they pose? Is there anything that you saw? I know it's just one game, but is there anything that you saw that kind of stood out that you maybe didn't see last year?
Well, I think in the previous three playoff matchups, special teams were heavily lopsided in Edmonton's favor. And I can believe that we still have a very good power play. I think their power play has improved, and I don't anticipate us dominating that special teams battle like they had in the previous 3 years. But it definitely is our goal to come ahead, because that'll probably be the difference of this the series. It's just winning that special teams, and we just got to. And you can see game one, their 2 power play goals were the difference in the game.
Confidence-wise, from game 1 to game 2, I think what Bob said in terms of Edmonton has proven an ability to navigate ups and downs. Did the way you finished that game allow you to retain some sense of what you'd never admit to normally, a moral victory? Is there something to be built upon there head-to-head in the psychological warfare between these two teams?
It's nice for anybody to put pucks in the net. You feel better, more confident when you put pucks in the net. But you also have to look at, were they playing their game? Did they take a step back? We certainly pushed. But I think every game's different from game to game, and game 2 is going to be much different, and they're going to have a strategy to get better. Obviously, we're going to have a strategy how we're going to get better, and it's going to alter a little bit.